After dinner he took her by cab to a local night spot. Soon he had her on the dance floor. Katie was weary of what might happen, but he was a perfect gentleman. Actually, Katie was having the time of her life. About midnight Ron suggested that they leave. Katie was more than a bit grateful. Her diaper was sagging to her knees. I was no help that she had had several glasses of white wine. When they left the club and entered the cool night air, the only thing Katie was thinking about was how incredible Ron was and how attracted she was to him. Katie had dated guys before, but never had she had these feelings. At least not for a guy. Suddenly the cool air got to her along with the wine, and Katie found herself getting sick by the curb. When she had rid herself of her dinner, she looked at Ron. "Ron, I am so sorry, maybe you should take me home?" "Katie, what you need is more fresh air. Let's take a carriage ride in the park?" Katie, knowing her diaper was soaked, wanted to say no. She even tried to say no. But she simply could only say one thing. "Sounds great, Ron." By the time they got in the carriage, it started to rain lightly. The driver put the top up. The first thing Katie noticed was she could no longer see him. As the carriage started to move, Ron snuggled close to her. Katie was feeling fine now, but her heart was going a mile a minute. Then Ron whispered to her, "Katie, I know you have to be soaked. Yeah, I know about your diapers. If you have a spare, I would be glad to change you. Hey, I have 2 baby sisters, it's no big deal." Once again, Katie tried to mouth the word no. But looking into Ron's beautiful eyes, the only thing she could do was point at her purse. Before she knew what was happening, Ron had her lying on the carriage seat and had her panties at her ankles. He removed the soaked double diaper she was wearing and tossed them out of the carriage into a wastebasket they were passing in the park. He then gently and thoroughly cleaned her diaper area with a wipe. He slid the fresh diaper under her and after taping it shut, pulled up her plastic panties. Ron then helped Katie up to a sitting position. Katie reacted by wrapping her arms around him and kissing him with all her pent-up passion. They snuggled and kissed for the rest of the carriage ride. Never once did Ron try a thing out of line. When the ride was over, Ron called a cab, as Katie held tight to his hand. They made out in the cab all the way to Katie's apartment. Ron paid the cab and sent it on its way, before walking Katie to the door. As he kissed her goodnight, he pulled away. "Anyone asked you from now on you're Ron's girl?" Katie giggled. "Yeah, well, that makes you Katie's guy, and don't you forget it either." They kissed for another 10 or 15 minutes. Honestly, Ron had to send her in the house. "I will call you tomorrow, hun. We will do something, okay?" "Anything you say, Ron." Giggles, "at least away from the office."